I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. I am slightly late. I'm 4 minutes late, but I was in the middle of a game. For the regular watchers, I've got a bit of a pinball machine fetish. I was so close to my highest score. And as lovely as and important as you are, I had to try and do it. I failed terribly. I was on such a good thing as well. But anyway, welcome one and all and to our very informal chat, very informal stream today. Feeling Christmassy. It's all for Gio, really. My daughter started it with a tint, so I thought I'd go with a hat. Do you know what? Maybe I'll be in the full club and a beard, the lot just before. Anyway, where are we? Where are we? I can see Gio's in the chat, actually. There was no injury, Gio. It was purely competitive pinball playing, which failed. The first two balls was fantastic. Bang, 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 bang. Terrible. Near the end. How are we feeling? We all right? We enjoying the Sunday? Feeling a little bit better, hopefully. Did you watch Match of the Day? I haven't watched Match of the Day yet, actually, so I haven't seen whatever they may or may not have said. Are we wondering, is Pellegrini safe now? Do we feel a little bit better? I'll tell you where I am with it. I'm not sure. If I thought that Pellegrini had completely sussed it, and this was how we were going to play going forward, and we were going to always keep plenty of people in attack, and we were going to take the cup seriously, then I think, okay, fair enough, he's learned his lesson. But I was actually a little bit troubled by the post-match press conference, where he almost indicated, he said, oh, Haller works better, doesn't he, with Antonio up front. I thought, oh, what? Well, yeah, obviously, we've all been saying this. Why has that taken him that long to realise it? I don't know. I guess he did sort of know it, but why didn't he implement that earlier on? I don't mean this to be a video to particularly dig into Pellegrini at this particular point, but I don't know. But the question needs to be asked, because I think there were so many people, myself included, that wanted rid of the manager, and now we win one game against Southampton, and everybody's happy and Christmassy and all that sort of thing, and everything's fine again now. Well, there's got to be somewhere in between, hasn't there? Do we just forget everything that happened before, or do we look into our reasons for winning the game, and just start to look at it a little bit deeper? Because I'm not entirely sure about that. I think too much of it as well, it hinges on Antonio, who was just brilliant. Wasn't he fantastic? I thought he was absolutely brilliant. What if Antonio gets injured? Which he probably will. He does get injured a lot, doesn't he? And you look, let's be fair, the amount he puts himself around, the amount of effort he puts in, he's highly likely to get injured, isn't he, on a consistent basis. So what happens if he is? Because what is the system that maybe Pellegrini has stumbled upon? Yes, it's a 4-4-2, understandably. But what is it? What was actually happening yesterday? Well, you've got to say he was just Antonio was causing the defenders absolute nightmares, and he was drifting out wide quite a lot, where by and large Haller was staying central. When Antonio was wide, Haller was getting into the sort of poaching positions. You know what I mean? Whilst you would probably call him more of a target man, the fox in the box, he does find space quite well in the box, doesn't he, Haller? If you look at his goals for West Ham, I know there haven't been that many, but they're poachy type efforts, if you know what I mean, rather than 30-yard pile drivers. Yes, he was dropping deep to flick the ball on, but if you were to sort of summarise it very, very quickly, it was almost like Antonio was doing all the work, all the endeavour, sort of softening the defence up, and then leaving Haller in there. So if Antonio's out, then that's a very particular type of striker that you're going to bring in. And this is why, as I'm sure a lot of you will agree, this is why I think Pellegrini stumbled upon this. This is accidental. Otherwise, why bring in a Jetty who is not that type of striker? So it begs the question, let's say Pellegrini sticks around, right? What are we going to do in the January transfer window? Now, Gio, who's in the chat insulting my bald patch somewhere, and he has basically said, well, maybe they won't invest if we keep Pellegrini, because they'll say, well, why would we invest in somebody when we don't have faith in the players he is signing? Fair enough. But if Pellegrini is going to stay and he is going to persist with his system, then another striker needs to come in, and it's going to have to be a striker that can do the sort of things that Antonio can do, who's not really a striker anyway, let's be fair. So let's just call him an attacking player that's up there just supporting Sebastian Haller and doing the running, doing the hard graft. Which player will come in and do that? I don't mean to say I'm going to name 4 or 5 of them. I don't know. But he's going to have to be high energy. They're going to have to be fast. That was a key to yesterday. We had some pace in the team that was up front as well, I thought. I was a bit worried when I saw the midfield. Snodgrass in there, Fornals in there, Rice and Noble. I thought, oh, you know, there's not a lot of pace in midfield. Well, there wasn't a lot of pace in midfield, but actually it didn't seem to matter because of just the sheer volume of work that Antonio's getting through. But if you found out in 2 games' time that Antonio broke down, pulled his hamstring, you wouldn't be surprised. None of us would be surprised, would we? Because that's an awful lot of workload. Did you hear? Diangana's got a hamstring injury. He scored again yesterday. I think he might have set up a goal as well. I've not seen any of the action, but he's got a hamstring injury, which is a bit of a shame. Shame for him. He's been doing ever so well, hasn't he? So that's got to happen in the transfer window. Pellegrini stays. I also think what's got to happen really is another, and I'm saying this for some time, a high energy midfielder needs to come in. So I don't think it's going to be a cheap transfer window. Also, let's say Pellegrini is a little bit more buoyed, a little happier. He seemed happier yesterday, didn't he? In the press conference, he seemed happier, punching his fists and just generally looking very, very happy. Let's say he stays. His demeanour's up. His demeanour's better. But then it can all be dragged down because there seems to be a bit of a witch hunt going on with Husilos, doesn't there? Which of course is his mate. But regardless of whether it was a good thing to do for him to choose the director of football, we all agree they shouldn't. The manager shouldn't choose the director of football. Whether you think it's a good idea or you think it's a bad idea, he still did it. And it's still his mate. That's still his choice. So at the moment, where the time we start to build up a little bit of, I can't say momentum. We've won 1 game and we may well lose our next. So let's get that. But at the moment we get a bit of feel-good feeling into the club, it could then be undermined very, very quickly by Husilos coming in. And talking of Husilos' signings, let's have a little look at that now. Ben Davis, God bless you, sir. He's donated £5. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. I'll buy another hat. I won't really. But thank you. Thank you, Ben. That's very, very kind. A regular watcher of the show, of all shows, all Hammers Chat shows, possibly even other shows aside from Hammers Chats. I wouldn't know what Ben does on the internet in his own private time as his own private business. But I wager this is not the only website he's given a £5 to. Put it that way. I'm only joking, Ben. Thank you very much. Okay, so Husilos' signings. We know the narrative. When they're good signings, they're David Sullivan's. When they're bad signings, they're Husilos's. Not just Husilos. That's always the way, isn't it? It was the way with Bilic as well. You remember? Good signings, Sullivan's. Bad signings, Bilic's choice. Absolutely. So basically, if you're signing Modibo Maiga, that's Sam Allardyce's choice. Dimitri Payet, Sullivan's choice. So you know the general thing. So let's look, actually. So I think this has changed even from a week ago. Roberto crap, yes. That's fine. Okay, that's done. That subject is done. There was also, when people were criticising Husilos' signings, Fornals, the fornicator, El Fornicador, was lumped in there. Well, he's starting to come good. He's starting to play better, isn't he? So if you're going to criticise Husilos' signings, can you lump Fornals in with it now? I don't think you can, really. I don't think you can. He's got an assist in this game. He got an assist in the last game. And listen, I don't think he's going to be any world beater for us, but you can't now say he's looking like a failure. So you can't pin that on Husilos, can you? He looks like he's acclimatising to Premier League football. As Miles Avery is in the chat, he's just said Fornals has done very good in the last 3 games. He has. So we can't say that's a bad Husilos signing. Not at all. The other one that was coming in for stick, people were starting to get on, not everybody, but some people were starting to get on Sebastian Haller's back in terms of saying actually it's not the fact he hasn't got a strike partner. He's lazy. He's no good. He's whatever. And now it's looking, well, actually, no, it probably was just a strike partner, wasn't it? So, again, the only reason I mention that is I felt that Haller was going to start getting lumped in with Roberto and Fornals as a stick to beat Huselos with. Well, I think Haller's a fantastic sign. Always have done, always will do. I think he's got a lot of very, very good qualities. I think he's going to be a good striker for us. So actually, you think about it, you take Haller out of the equation, because let's be fair, his goals pretty much saved Pellegrini's job. You might think that's a bad thing, by the way. Fornals starting to play in form. And all of a sudden, then you're just looking at Roberto. Yes, okay, Roberto is a crap goalkeeper. But if you're going to say Roberto is a crap goalkeeper, but then you're going to start singing about David Martin, then what are we going to do? Oh, sorry. So Roberto was Huselos's and Martin. Oh, that was Sullivan. You get where I'm going with this. Well, then you've got to say David Martin's been a good signing. So actually, you're just really looking at Roberto. Is that enough to start giving Huselos the sack? I don't think it is. And I think that they're, they like to try and feel they don't want to upset the fans too much because they're worried about another Burnley protest happening. So do I think that they would sack Huselos? Possibly not, because they're probably thinking, actually, we can't now. We can't sack Huselos and we can't sack Pellegrini because he's just won, basically. But is their mistrust, in Huselos enough to not give him any money in January? I think so. So I think we've got something very, very interesting dynamic coming up in January. As I say, but we still got, well, yeah, listen, whilst we're missing the Liverpool game, obviously January is not just the start of January, it's the whole of January. So we still do have lots of games until the end of January comes and the transfer window closes. We need players. I thought Pellegrini's comments were quite good. And I think, I don't know, it's a funny one. I think in terms of talking about, he said Wilshere was coming back. He said Lanzini was coming back. He said, who else did he say? Fabianski, obviously. So he was clearly thinking he has got players there that can play and improve the team. But I was still worried because it's almost as if he does all of that, then his system will revert back to what it was, which is just one isolated player up top. Too much is hanging on Antonio being fit. So I wanted to continue to play that way. But I'm still suspicious. I am still very, very suspicious with it. Okay? So we'll see. I still expect Gillingham to go. I think we'd possibly beat Gillingham, whatever team we put out. But I don't think he's learned. I can still see us going out of the cup. Here's the issue here, by the way, with the cup. Earlier on, League Cup. Well, we can't put a good team out in the League Cup. But you know why? Because we're in the top 10. So we're in the top 10. We're pushing for Europe. Can't concentrate on the cup. FA Cup. We can't concentrate on the FA Cup. Why? Because we're in the bottom 10. We've got to worry about relegation. What they're basically saying with if both of those things happening is we're never going to go for the cup. They just haven't really got the balls to come out and say what it is. Because if we're top 10, we ain't going for it. If we're in bottom 10, we ain't going for it. Simple as that, really. Anyway, where are we? Let's have a little look at the chat here. I just see Super Stubbies there, regular in the chat. I only noticed that it popped up. It says, Gonzo, you're saying Fornals is not suited to the Premier League is akin to saying David Silva is not suited. Fornals and Cabellos ran the show for Spain under-21s and are the future going forward. I think he's saying they're Spain's future going forward. Yeah, look, I will argue with you on that one, mate. I'm not. One thing I hate, I do these videos and I get paraphrased at the end. I know you're not doing that. So, very easy to come towards the end and say Gonzo says Fornals is useless. That's not just what I've said. I've said that 3 good games. I think Fornals has got technical qualities. I think athletically, he is not suited to the Premier League. Time will tell. Time will tell. Just in the same way, I'm not going to paraphrase yourself, mate, and say that you're suggesting Fornals is as good as David Silva. I know you're not saying that. I'm not so sure. I'm really not so sure. I hope he proves me wrong. I'm not so stubborn that when Fornals plays well, that I turn around and ignore the fact he's played well. I said it. He was in my top 3. I thought Haller, Fornals and Antonio ran the game yesterday. If you listened to the review yesterday, I am totally prepared for Fornals to do well. I hope he does do well. His lack of pace, I find a concern. I don't think it would have been that much of an issue if he had more pace in the team. And I don't know. Look, one swallow doesn't make a summer. I'm not sure because we've beaten Southampton that is still the midfield that we need to go for. I mean, as Miles Avery is saying, would you prefer Fornals in the middle than on the wing? Yes, 100%. Because I think he's got endeavour. I think he tries to tackle as well, and he keeps running. I said in the review. Freaking review. The review yesterday. I like his endeavour. So Buster Cherry. Oh, I can't believe I just said that. Goodness gracious me. Good afternoon, Gonzo. I'm new to the stream. How can... Oh, here we go. So, do you know... I cannot believe this. You... Oh, for goodness sake. You lot and your names. At least I realised that. I'm not going to say it all game, but... Crikey. Mr. Thong... So, yeah, I know that's rude, by the way. Thank you. Do you think Fornals is a West Ham version of what? Of Hoolis Williams? I'm not reading that out. I'm not reading it out. I can't read anything. You lot have just tuned in to try and make me say naughty things. I'm not going to do it. I do know what I've got to say. Right, okay. Tomorrow's lunchtime video, I've got a competition in there. I've got to say thank you. I have got a friend who has been an absolute diamond. He is really trying. Basically, we've got a Twitter presence. We've got a Twitter presence, and he is trying to build up a Facebook presence for us. And we were speaking a lot recently, and he said, I really, really want to push this forward. He's a very nice guy. He's very, very generous, and he is actually running a competition. So he is... Tomorrow, on tomorrow's lunchtime show, I've got a competition generously donated by my mate. He is donating a signed, he's literally just emailed me a minute ago. I'll find it here. Sorry, I should have mentioned it earlier. He's donating a signed West Ham shirt by loads of players and a hospitality for two to a West Ham game for two of you, obviously, for the second half of the season. And all you're going to have to do is, I need to get the details, basically sign up and like our Facebook page, which I'll give you, which basically he's built for us to help promote these videos, to help promote the lunchtime videos and all the content that you're going to send in. We want more your shouts, basically. And honestly, he messaged me, and I cannot believe his generosity. Let me just bring it up here so as we can. Okay, it's basically win a West Ham signed shirt this season and a hospitality package for two in the second half of this season. The signatures on the shirt include Declan Rice, Mark Noble, Robert Snodgrass, Issa Diop, Aaron Cresswell, Fabian Balbuena, Pablo Zabaleta, Angelo Ogbonna, David Martin, and Andrei Yarmolenko. It's a signed shirt. Basically, he went up to the training grounds Friday, Thursday, I can't remember. One or two. And he got all this done, and he is generously donating it. I will give you the details. Don't search in the link now. The details will be in the competition tomorrow in the video lunchtime. I'll give you all what you've got to do. But all you've got to do is sign up to the... what's he said? He said this video will be posted on our new Facebook page, which will make it easier to have your say on all things West Ham. Simply head over to the Facebook page, which is in the link below. I haven't put it in yet, by the way. And search for Hammers Chat Forum on Facebook, or like our page, comment on the video and share. Basically, he's managing all of that stuff now over there. So I'll release the details tomorrow. And one of you, what he said is the winner will be announced on the 20th, and it'll be posted by special delivery, so you get the shirt in time for Christmas. How's that? And I've got to thank him. I'm not going to thank him by name because I'm not sure if he wants to. I don't know where he wants to play. He wants to remain anonymous, sneaky, naughty, whatever. But I mean, he's been really, 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 really good. On that, what I want to do is myself and Gio have got a lot more stuff coming up. I mean, loads. We got ideas, we got ventures. Hammers Chat. We're going to go. Well, I was going to say we're going to go into Stratford. Probably just do that. But we've got a lot of new stuff coming out. Myself and Gio got a lot of new things, new ventures coming out in the new year. We're going to be we're going to be really annoying you with loads of videos, basically. So bigger and better things from Hammers Chat. I don't want to promise too much, because you promise stuff, you promise you're going to do it bigger and better, you've got to deliver. And we are going to be doing an awful lot more. Watch this space. We've still got to decide on a few little fine details. He's in the chat now. Talking about Vogue. What's Vogue? Can you believe that Fornals appeared in a Vogue article? Anyway, so there you go. There you go. He's in the chat. He's saying, don't worry, guys. We promise a lot of progress, new stadium, world-class players, and, of course, world-class transport links to all our new content. There we go. Right then. So, just on there was somebody sent me something again yesterday, and I do apologise because, look, particularly on match days, Gio will be the same. We get sent a lot of stuff on match days because, well, just because of what we do. You know, everybody gets very, very excited or down on match days, and we get an awful lot of messages. So I do apologise if I can't remember everybody, because we do get a lot of them. But I think this was from Ruben. I think I found it here. And Ruben said, the system against Southampton works. Haller looks rejuvenated and is a type of system that will work in those type of games. However, it has to be said that at some point we need to start Anderson and Holland because we need pace on the wings when we're dealing with certain types of teams. I just hope Pellegrini sees that. I think he's absolutely right. I do not think that we've definitely cracked it. I really don't. I think I've got to exercise a little bit of caution here, and really see what happens in the next game. But we've got to enjoy our next couple of weeks. Really, the other thing that another guy made was about Antonio's endeavour. And it's something I've thought for a while, but he mentioned it yesterday. As I say, I'm sorry if I not got your name. It was about Antonio putting in a ton of effort and about us scouting with effort in mind. I think it's a massive thing. Character, drive, commitment. Clearly, it's something that, for instance, Sheffield United have done. They won again yesterday, as I'm sure you all know. You watch far more football than I do, I'd imagine. But all of his players seem to have the drive, dedication, and commitment that someone like Antonio has got. I just wonder what's possible when you do scout for that. How much we do that. How much do we actually know about players? How easy is it to find out that sort of thing? I'd imagine you definitely have to meet with them. Not only have you got to meet with them, but the person meeting the player has got to be a good judge of character. It's no good if, okay, let's say, for instance, Huselos is a good judge of player, but a bad judge of character. He's not going to be able to see if they've got that drive, that determination in there. So you need somebody in there you're looking for a little spark in a player. You're looking for someone that that's got that thing. Zabaletta's one of those. I know he's slow. I know he's finished, and all the rest of it. But I know that. But actually, you look at his character. He's got drive and he's got commitment. James Collins is another one. Obviously, Antonio, we've mentioned. Declan Rice, clearly. Mark Noble, clearly. What is it? What is that thing in a person's character that just gives them the drive? Well, you almost don't have to motivate them. They motivate themselves. There's leadership qualities to them. I really firmly believe we should be scouting for this. And then possibly, look, we've not spoken much about what went on in the week. The report came out from the Sun that the training ground was an unhappy place. I'm sure it was, but I'm pretty sure every training ground is an unhappy place if you've lost whatever, all but one game in the last 10 or whatever our run had been. So I don't know, but I just wonder how important it is to actually have characters in there to stop that sort of thing happening. Is anyone in the chat? Can anyone get rid of that? Excuse me. I cannot believe what has just happened in the chat. I cannot. I cannot believe what I have just seen. I am sorry for anyone that's just seen that. That is the most nasty thing I have ever seen on any West Ham. I cannot believe what I have just seen there. You're a disgrace, mate. You're an absolute bigoted disgrace. you're gone. You're gone. You're bantering a channel. It's as simple as that. I mean, yeah, that is. I'm not even sure. In fact, I'm pretty sure that what you have just posted is illegal. I mean, it absolutely is against the law what you've just done. I've just reported you. I hope you get banged. I honestly hope you get banged to rights for that. I'm not having that at all. Hammers chat. That's not even Geo. I've been done again. I've just realised the Hammers chat in here is not Geo. He's having a laugh. It's not Geo, is it? Of course it's not. It would have a little spanner next to it. I'm sorry, you're right. I don't have any. Well, actually, is Ray? Ray, are you in the chat, mate? Will you just watch out for that? All that stuff that just popped up. There was a lot of racist and anti-Semitic stuff that just popped up in the chat. Ray, will you look at that, please, mate? I'm sorry. I'm really sorry about the flow of the video and all the rest of it, that sort of thing. No, Ray said, "Yep, sorry, I was just getting dressed." Ray there, our moderator, who clearly watches the early parts of shows naked. Yeah, he probably will create another account. Just anyway, you know what? I can't believe that. Sorry, we digress. You've got to. Do you know what? These things, you do these things. It's so easy. You know, when you're reading comments to concentrate on the one nasty one and all the rest of it. I always try not to do it. I always try and reply to people that are friendly. And then you know all this, everybody that watches regularly, we keep you involved. And you know, but that, and I try and ignore. I do try and ignore the nasty ones. But that was nasty. Anyway, where we go? Where are we? Let's have a little quick. Sorry. I'm not reading that either. I'm not Scotty. I'm not reading a political tweet, my friends. Right, let's have a little quick look at the. Okay, this has popped up. I'm just clicking up the latest West Ham news. Felipe Anderson set to recover from illness. Felipe Anderson missed out yesterday on West Ham's win after suffering from a bout of sickness. Did he really? Before kickoff, Pellegrini confirmed to Sky Sports Felipe has some stomach problems. To be fair, my missus and my daughter have been very ill this week. With tummy bugs, so maybe he did. He said Felipe was sick yesterday. He couldn't train. He had some stomach problems. Well, we know. You just said that. So I hope it's only a couple of days. Maybe he ate something that was not so good. Possibly a Chinese. If he'd have had a curry, he'd have been all right, wouldn't he? I had a curry on Friday night. What else have we got in terms of the news? Manuel Pellegrini is safe for now. Reports that Manuel Pellegrini will face a sack before Christmas, despite West Ham's 1-0 win against Southampton, have been denied by club insiders. The Daily Star claimed that basically Pellegrini was off and David Moyes was coming in. That was in the Daily Star today. The article by journalist Harry Pratt for the tabloid said West Ham boss Manuel Pellegrini is set for the Christmas sack. But they're not obviously not Father Christmas's sack, is it? Not Santa's sack. He's not set for the stocking. Despite victory at Southampton last night, with the race on to find a new boss before the next game, Boxing Day at Crystal Palace. The Hammers are considering going back to the future. Oh, that could be like a Christmas type pun, couldn't it? Because that's a Christmassy type film, is it? Well, it's not Christmas. It's always on Christmas. For previous manager David Moyes. According to sources close to the East Londoners. Just 2 wins in 12. The board had decided to dispense with the services of Chilean boss Pellegrini. Whatever the result was at Pellegrini, they were going to get rid of him. This means the 1-0 victory over fellow strugglers Southampton will not spare him the festive chop. The festive chop in the next few days. The festive chop. That's for people that don't like a turkey. They just have one festive chop, bit of holly on top of a lamb chop. A senior club source speaking to Claret, and now we're not on the Daily Star anymore. A senior club source denied the report, saying completely made up, no truth in it whatsoever. There we go. So there is no David Moyes, and more importantly, there's no Christmas sack or stocking, and there is definitely no Christmas chop. There's not a lot of news, but why should there be? Why should there be? Right, let's go and have a little dip our toe in the chat. Ryan Lamb. Hello, Ryan. How long will Pellegrini stay in the job as West Ham manager? I don't know, but it goes back. We lose against Crystal Palace. It goes back to how it was. Any truth in the Poch link? No, he wouldn't want to come to West Ham, would he? Victor Fenn says, would you keep 4-4-2, or do you think Pellers will change it to bring in Anderson back into the team? Well, I worry you've got to keep it as it is. You've got to. Any other stuff just doesn't work. He could bring Anderson back into the team, but he's got to keep Haller and what's his name, Antonio, up front. Oh my goodness. Anyway, sorry about that. Clara Crooner doesn't want David Moyes. Super Stubby says, how much does a season ticket cost? I haven't got one because I can't attend enough games to warrant it. The cheapest season ticket is a smidgen over 300 quid, my friend. What do you think of Pellegrini lying about Anderson's fitness? He said that Anderson was ill, but X confirmed Anderson got an injury the previous day. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know the truth. I don't know. I don't know which one of those is the truth. So I couldn't say, but I'm suspicious. I don't think. Actually, I've got to be honest with you. If I had to hedge my bets, I would say neither X is right nor Pellegrini's right. I would imagine he's got no stomach bug, no injury at all. And actually, there was an argument. They were falling out or something. That I would find much more believable, I've got to say. But you know what? As I say, maybe he was ill or injured. Maybe he had a tummy bug. There is a lot of it going around. But I don't know. I'm certainly not going to take either of those as gospel. Absolutely not, because X can be misinformed, and Pellegrini could just be lying to protect his player, couldn't he? Really? Ray is only half naked now, which is very, very nice. Hopefully, the top half, Ray. Aren't you watching your video with your dinkle out? Thank you very much. Gary Smith has said if he's learned anything from yesterday, hopefully he's learned to be more flexible with formation depending on the opposition. Yeah, quite possibly. Yeah, sorry, listen, but the vegetarian that keeps popping, I love animals. Vegetarians, I totally respect anyone who wants to be a vegetarian. It's just, this is a West Ham chat. It's not, you're not here to promote propaganda for vegetarianism. I know I mentioned the Christmas chop earlier, but it wasn't meant to encourage a sort of a veganistic debate, which I do respect anybody, but anyone's diet is their own private business. I've got to say that. Whatever you want to choose to eat is your own business. But also, your diet is not everybody else's. We haven't all got to know about your diet, all right? So that's that. So if we could keep it to West Ham or hats or something, then fine. Although you are allowed to talk about Indian and Chinese. If you're not a regular on a channel, you won't know the rules. You see, you got to know the rules. We're a bit quirky over here, me and me subscribers there. Gonzo, how often do you shave? Jazz, I'll give you a really boring thing. I get dermatitis, mate. I basically can't have a horrible rash when I shave. So I don't shave very much, to be honest. And I have, the last time I wet shaved was for my wedding in 2012. As it just, honestly, that tears my face apart. Anyway, I can see Anderson leaving soon after. He doesn't look like he's got a heart for the fight, says Kent Hammers. That is Kent. He's not trying to get me to say a funny word. Will we beat Palace if we use the same formation as yesterday? Roy Hudson is a very tactically clued up manager. I'm not sure. I wouldn't place any money on it. Don't place your Christmas hour price vouchers on it. There's no hour price anymore, is there? Show me age there. Fans moaning at possible Moyes when he was with us a short time. He made us fitter, more defensively solid, and we played some good football at times. That's from Sam. Thank you, Sam. Anthos says, squeaky bum time yesterday when we should have been out of sight. Both Antonio VR decisions were daylight robbery. I thought the foul was. I thought it was handball. I just think it was. Was it accidental handball? Yes, but that's not part of the rules, is it? It's not handball if it's accidental. It's if it's hit your hand and it's assisted in some way, and it did assist in some way. And if that had have been, I don't know, the other way round, for instance. If it had been Danny Ings and he was through it, it bounced up in his hand and he'd have scored and it had cost us the game, I'd have been furious. So I don't mind that. But the other VAR was bad. And I also thought, but I thought we got lucky because I thought Danny Ings' goal was good when he curled it in. I don't think he fouled Yarmolenko. But I did think generally the referee was bad yesterday, I've got to say. Do you think we'll sign Darren Randolph in January? He's certainly been in negotiations. 100% he's been in negotiations with the club. I can tell you that for a fact. I don't do much in the know stuff at all. But obviously we do sometimes get told things on it. I don't want to do in the know. I don't want to try and release news. But Darren Randolph has had contact with the club. Yes. I don't know whether we'll sign him or not. I don't know. Where do you see us finishing this season? Says Tom. Maybe about where we are, mate. Maybe about where we are, possibly. It depends what happens. If things stay the same, and we don't sign anybody significant, and if we can keep injury free, I think we stay where we are. I think if we retain the same manager, we don't sign anybody, and we have injuries to a couple of key players, I think we could possibly go lower. But I'm not expecting us to push for 8th, 7th, or whatever, because I just don't think we're as good as those teams that are up there. Phil, I'm not saying your surname. I'm not even answering your question. I don't think it's a serious question. I don't even know what channel you're talking about. I've got to be so careful with these names. You are naughty people. Super Stubby's had a lovely curry by the sounds of it. Gary Smithhurst, he didn't foul Yarmolenko. It was from the previous foul on Fredericks, and then there was no advantage. Oh well, maybe yeah, mate. I'll take your word for it, Gary. I thought it was for the foul on Yarmolenko. Will the players be in training now? There's a few days off or away on holiday. I'd give them a break. I don't know. Sorry, as I say, I don't know these things. Ex-employee's got his sources at the training ground, hasn't he? I have no sources at the training ground. Although my mate did go there the other day and get a lovely West Ham signed shirt, which you've all got a chance to win on tomorrow's lunchtime video. I'd give him a few days off, Andy. I think, really. I think a change is as good as a rest sometimes. Gary Cray says Anderson wants out. I do know. That's another bit of in the know I got. I do know something about Anderson, but I don't know what I'm allowed to say and what I'm not allowed to say at this point. But he wasn't happy. I can probably tell you that much. But I don't mean about yesterday. I don't know anything about yesterday. I spoke to somebody midweek about it. What is Tom says, what's my view on VAR? Do you think it's improving or worse in the game? I think they've gone mad. I just want them to do it like rugby. I just want them to have it on the big screen. I want them, yes, by all means, have a 5th official or video referee in there, but I'd like the referee just to be able to walk to the side and have a look at himself and just do it quick. It's causing a lot of problems. I don't like the way you almost can't celebrate a goal sometimes. Yeah, I mean, even yesterday, you're still thinking, you know, like when Snodgrass crossed the ball over, Fornals heads it back. Unless you've been watching very closely, you're still thinking, oh, I'd like to see that a second time to make sure Fornals wasn't offside or whatever. I think it does take a little bit of drama out of the game. And that ain't good because football is dramatic. That's part of its allure, isn't it? How many players do you think it would take to propel us into a top half finish? A 2? Not a proper support striker and a really good central midfielder. Jared Bowen, what am I missing here? There's a Peter have messaged it. Who is that? I don't know who this is. Gonzo, you have a few fans in Australia. I've got friends in Australia. So our first ever really popular video was done because people in Australia couldn't get much footage of the ground and stuff like that. So yeah, I like our Antipodean friends. I like Australia. I've got a lot of good friends over there. I'd like to go. I actually quite like to live in New Zealand. Truth be known, but I'd also like to live in Ireland as well. Like to live in a lot of places. Right, where are we? Crikey, that is going. Okay, Jared Bowen's a winger for Hull in the Championship. Thank you very much, Miles. He's got 13 goals this season, says Jazza. And Miles says a decent winger. He's a goal machine. We're linked today with him, Ray, are we? Okay. Madison 2.0. Gonzo, why don't you take over the management, mate? Kind of goes Gonzo's Claret and Blue Army. I'll tell you what. If there was like a charity, you know, sometimes do a charity thing where you can run, you'd be manager for the afternoon or something like that in a friend. I wouldn't mind doing that. That'd be fun. That being said, if we ever got given that, we'd only auction it off anyway and let one of you fellas do it. Or ladies, sorry. We do have some lovely lady followers as well. We do. Barbara and Nicola. To name Alice. To name but 3. And some of you ladies have got names like Happy Hammer and things like that. So I don't even know if you're ladies or not. My favourite player of all time and currently. Currently is tough. It's tough. My son's favourite player, I'll tell you that, is Aaron Cresswell. Historically, I mean, I loved Billy Bonds. I really loved Billy Bonds. I really did. But I also, it's going to sound a bit funny. I also really loved a player called George Paris, who was it was nothing spectacular, but I bloody loved George Paris. Got to be honest with you. You will find 100 better players at West Ham than George Paris, but I really like George Paris. If you could change one element of the club, what would it be? It would be the stadium, Tom. It would be the stadium, because I think that would. If we could have a stadium like Chelsea's now 42,000, bang, banked, steeped. 45,000 on that, maybe really, really good. Look, the fake Hammers Chat account. How's the fantasy? I think it means the fantasy football. Given up. Sorry. It's not very good, is it? What else have we got in here? Oh, Vinny remembers Paris. He was all right, wasn't he, Georgie Paris? Nothing wrong with him at all. Krusty Cole thinks Bonner is Hammer of the Year. George Paris. He used to love Stuart Slater. Yeah, I mean, Stuart Slater, I mean, he was very, very skillful. I just thought Stuart Slater was going to go on to be one of the world's best players in many respects. I mean, there was a time when he was the world world champion or something like that. He was absolutely brilliant. He just never pushed on and didn't really push on with his career. But I really liked him. I think he was a geezer we sold to Everton. Danny Williamson. He looked like he was going to be a real player. And again, he just never really... I used to like Alan Dickens, actually, as well. I used to like Alan Dickens. I used to like I like Leroy Rossini as well. I used to like some of our less prestigious players as well. Funny, isn't it? Victor Fenn's right. George Paris would play anywhere in that team. I think that's why we loved him so much. Ray, I'm not in the man cave because my wife's been away. She's been ill. And then she was working. She popped up to the Midlands to see her family. So 2 of my younger kids are in there, and I've got some other family things to do this afternoon. Getting towards this evening, to be fair. Also, the garden's been raining a lot. The garden's really flooded, and I've actually got to build my next job. Whilst the man cave inside is pretty much done, I've got to complete the outside, and I've got to build a path up the garden, so I don't get. It sort of puts me off. I get really muddy just when it's been raining going up there to the man cave, because I've done a lot of building work there. So I've got to build a path. So realistically, the man cave, whilst it does get use and it is in use, it's not going to be in full. The Death Star is not going to be fully operational until next spring, I think you'll find. Where are we? Yeah, Martin Allen says David. Good player, Martin Allen. Mad Dog. Would I take Phil Parkes over Fabianski? Phil Parkes is my favourite, really. And I've just been asked to my favourite, and I didn't say Phil Parkes. Phil Parkes is my first autograph. I used to love Alvin Martin as well, by the way. But both of whom are in Canning Town Lens film. I'm sure you'll know it by now. Actually, I'm gonna. I need a favour from you. I'm gonna put it in a link very soon. My next edited video. I'm gonna put a link to Canning Town Lens channel. You can go over there now. If you search Canning Town Len in YouTube, if you could go and subscribe to his channel, I'd love to get him up to 1,000 subscribers, because then it opens up different features in YouTube. He's uploading a lot of stuff at the moment. He's done some funny stuff. He's ripping the hell out of the owners, by the way. But I will post a link up. I'll make it really easy. I'll do it during the week so as I can pop it there. And if you find lovely people, loyal, lovely Hammers Chat followers, could subscribe to my mate, Canning Town Len. Basically, it's me mate. I want to do me mate a favour. because he's done me plenty. So yeah, we got some mugs coming out soon, me and Gio, and we've got using a bit of lens artwork for that, which would be nice. I'm very gratefully received. So they're mugs for you fine people. We're going to try and we're trying. We've got a lot of things planned. Like I say, we'll all come out in the wash. We've got bigger things coming out. I want to try and get a few bits and pieces in the shop, but we don't want it to be crap. I don't want to just sell some old tosh. Do you know what I mean? So we've had to make sure that the mugs. We want the mugs to be nice. We want it to be funny as well, and something that you're gonna want to own really. And so obviously I've got to have one in for a cup of tea. Metal Corey says we could sell Anderson and sign. Am I meant to say that, or is that one of them rude names again? Trossard. I don't. Is it? Oh no, probably not. He'd be elated. Is it true that I'm a few fries short of a Happy Meal? I'm glad you remembered that. Few fries short of a Happy Meal. Yeah. I think that's a good one. I'll tell you what else I like. If you don't like somebody, you say, I hope his next shit's an hedgehog. Big teeth, could munch an apple for a letterbox. That's another good one. Well, you might not like him. I think I'm just a nasty old geezer. Anyway, Trossard plays for Brighton. You lot know a lot more than I do. If players like Anderson wants to leave, it doesn't give much hope of improvement. It doesn't necessarily want to leave, by the way. Anderson doesn't necessarily want to leave. But yeah, so let's just put that way. Stephen Sprague says, hi Chris, hope you're well, mate. Stephen, listen, matey boy, I've got your just please make sure you've sent your email address. Not your email address. Make sure you've sent your address to my email address. So I'll get those Dewberries sent out. The magazines. I've packaged up about 15. I've got another. I've not replied to every email individually because you're just going to receive them in the post basically. But I'm having to write down all the addresses. I've already got them enveloped up. Do you believe this? I went yesterday, right? I went to the post office yesterday, and the post office closed. The post office bit of the shop closed after lunchtime, but there's still a shop. It's the one near me. I live in a very small town, so I went in there. And I said, can I have, I said, will a first class stamp sell this? She said, I don't know. I said, I thought you worked in the post office. She said, yeah, I do, but I'm not working in now. I said, I know you're not working in now. You're just working behind that, like the off license bit and that. But in your knowledge, would a first class stamp cover this, to cover the weight of this? It's a magazine, A5 magazine. Anyway, she couldn't help me. I said, all right, okay, fine. I said, I'll probably go for it then. So anyway, I said, can I have 20 first class stamps, please? She said, sorry, we don't sell them. The post office is closed. I said, I know the post office is closed, but you normally do those little books of stamps. You know, little red books of stamps. You get 6 stamps in them. So no, she said, no, the post office is closed. We don't sell books of stamps. What? Since when does a shop not sell a book of stamps? Weird. I thought it was weird. Anyway, so they're going to get sent out tomorrow. But thank you. I just so you know, I've I think pretty much everyone that sent me an email so far, I've got one out too. Well, it's in an envelope. Anyway, yeah, thanks, Stephen. Yeah, send it over, mate. A couple of people did just send an email, said yes, please, I'll have one, but I didn't send their address. You've got to send your address as well. Okay. Mark, hello, Mark. As paramedic, Mark Cockneyborn says, I just want to wish you and your family a very Merry Christmas. The same to you, Mark. The very same to you, mate. We'll do all these nice Christmas wishes the closer we get to the big day, but of course I will wish everybody, all our followers, but that idiot earlier, a very, very Merry Christmas, and I do hope you do have a lovely Christmas and lots to eat, and see your family, see your friends, and generally have a very, very nice time. And if you can, at least everywhere shuts. If you got, get a couple of days off work and put your feet up, flick the telly on, watch some films on Christmas Day, whatever. Have a nice bite to eat. Enjoy the footy on Boxing Day, which is still on Amazon. I think it might still be on Amazon. Yeah, Ray, listen, I know the post office sells stamps, but they were saying they didn't. It was basically because the person behind the till didn't know what they were doing. Anyway. Right. What else have we got? Yeah, Miles is saying he's happy we have a 12-day break from West Ham. Right, listen, I'm going to leave it now, as I've got an awful lot to do. I'll be back tomorrow at lunchtime. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed all the videos. See Jay, who? Did you see Gio yesterday and Bez? Drunk. Then they did another video. Drunk. I've got to say, on the first video though, you know when they were banging the gate? Was it just me? I thought, I wish I was there banging that gate. Not in that way. That would be disgusting, wouldn't it? Where are we? Can you do a video where you pick your favourite West Ham team of all time? We're going to, funny enough, we're doing something like that, me and Gio. Crikey. This is the fake Hammers chat account. It took me ages to realise it wasn't Gio. He's now saying, tell the chat about the upcoming videos. You've been rumbled now. You've been rumbled. Enjoy lunch. I had lunch. Lunch is gone. Got some lamb chops for later. I'm not even sure I've got time to cook them, to be fair. I'm going to have to get them on quick. Right, anyway, listen. See you later. You take care. I can't keep answering questions. I've got to go. I'll catch up with you all tomorrow. Right, let me see if I can end this stream. See you soon. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Take care, everyone. Cheerio.